Hey Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 8th through the 22nd. If the volume is a little wonky, please show me some grace. I'm getting a new microphone. I'm doing this whole new thing different. I'm recording this on my Mac. I am Gemini, ruled by Mercury, and I just don't want to make the purchase until Mercury is out of retrograde on the 18th. So please just be patient with the volume until then. Anyway, let's get into things. So I'm covering the 8th to the 22nd because I want to leave the last week of the month all by itself. I'll address that next week. But I'm going to do a lay of the land with the astrology. Then I'm going to go into a reading just for money and career, and then one for a relationship for those of you who are partnered, and then finally one for those of you who are in separation. So I'm going to timestamp below. I'm going to be doing a separate relationship only read where I'm going to be in depth addressing those of you who are single. I'm sorry I can't address every type of relationship in every reading. For that, I apologize. Anyway, so Capricorn, it's still all about the 10th house for you, my friends. I'm just looking at you. If you see me looking off camera, just because I'm looking at your chart. So we still have the sun, we have we have Mars, and we have Mercury retrograde hanging out in that 10th house for you in Libra. And that's your home, right? Your home is the 10th house. So your professional presence is really powerful this month. You are in a position to impress people with your energy, with your confidence, with your motivation. I really like this for you. Very strong energy here having to do with responsibility. Also, the 10th house also has to do with long-term goals. You know, not everybody's working, right? So it's long-term goals, it's public reputation, it's your standing in the world. Until the 18th, there could be some rethinking, redoing, everything, right? Because we still have this retrograde season going on. So you might be doing some backtracking on a project that you're dealing with in this 10th house. But it's very, very essential that you do this. I feel like after the 18th, though, clarity is going to increase, even though on the 18th, it's probably going to still be very wonky, because whenever the day where any sort of energy goes direct, stations direct, it's heightened. There's a lot of heightened energy. So that 18th, we have Mercury and we have Jupiter both stationing direct. So it's going to be a lot of energy, not necessarily bad at all, but it's just going to be very heightened, right, for you. So just keep that in mind. But after that, the clarity is going to definitely increase when it comes to that area of work for you, public reputation, standing in the world, and where it is that you're going. So I really like this because I feel like you're going to have a lot of renewed faith when it comes to the goals that you have in your life. So from, even though this is from the 8th to the 22nd, I want to say like the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Be careful of feeling like you need to rush something. Like, I have to do it now. If I don't do it now, the opportunity is never going to be here again. Like feeling like you have to rush to the finish line of something. There's something here, though, that you're not seeing. Where is your Neptune, though? I'm feeling called to, yeah, I mean, so your Neptune is in the 3rd house, right? In Pisces right now. So on top of Mercury being retrograde, you have Neptune in your 3rd house. So when it comes to communicating and when it comes to, any sort of, approaching something from a beginning perspective, there may be information that you're not privy to just yet, right? It's not because you're not intelligent, and it's not because there's even malice involved. It's just through circumstance. You're just not seeing everything yet, okay? So don't be surprised if you're feeling that. Don't be surprised also if some sort of old problem pops up that you put aside to deal with other things in your life, that you put aside at some point to deal with other things in your life, and all of a sudden it rears its head again, right? This is the stuff that happens as particularly as a lot of these planets ends up going direct. But I feel like, your communication style is coming across with more strength than usual, and you want to make it work for you instead of against you. So there's a lot to be said for being assertive instead of aggressive, right? You don't want to be too zealous in this energy. Just be very, very mindful of that. As far as your love life goes, your love life or your feelings, right, are a lot more private right now, more intimate. And possibly a lot more complicated from the 7th forward, because then you have Venus is in Sagittarius, and that is in your, it's in the house of the hidden, it's in your 12th house. So there's a lot of Venus, the planet of love, of self-esteem, and Sagittarius, which is very entrenched in your values, your belief system. There's going to be a lot of this energy in your house of the hidden, in your subconscious, in your emotional space, right? So it could be a little complicated, right? There's a lot going on under the hood, as they say, and you are just generally your performance is often in the spotlight here. Something that you perform like in your day-to-day, because this also works with the sixth house. So your performance, right? That sixth house is you being of service. So how you show up in your day-to-day, there's going to be some sort of like big impact, or you're going to have the potential to make some sort of huge impact. Activity increases involving career, reputation, relationships with parents, with authority figures. You have a very strong desire to do things your way, and you're going to be showing a greater sense of confidence and capability in whatever it is that you bring to the table. And you're going to be a lot bolder than people normally would figure you for. Feeling very confident and feeling very sort of eye on the prize kind of thing, which is good. So from the 10th on, I feel like money matters are going to require a lot more structure and a lot more discipline. Okay. They are improving steadily now, though. Focus on firming up your budget, evaluating your business projects, paring down any sort of excess so that you can make yourself feel more grounded and secure, so that you're going to have enough security moving forward. You want to pay attention to practical affairs at this time. Anything that's very practical, like what's practical, anything in your day-to-day, taking care of business, things that come up. Not a good time to be, not a good time to procrastinate. Not that you guys really do, although this is a general message, so I don't know you and your personal chart. But generally speaking, the archetype of Capricorn doesn't procrastinate, but you really want to make sure that you don't if you feel the tendency to. Now, you might purchase or receive something that you've always wanted, or you might be really involved in taking care of something that matters to you, whether it's your car, or maybe it's doing some work on your home, or something that really matters to you. You're also likely to feel more personally powerful and purposeful right now with that ruling pattern, your ruling planet Saturn is finally going to be turning direct after being retrograde for too long, right? But for the past several months. So you might be really resourceful right now in work that you're doing, really pulling in your talents, your gifts, your abilities, what you bring to a situation, being really in touch with that, and being more confident in bringing those out into the open. For sure, you might draw a lot of energy and motivation from looking at new methods, new approaches to things. Some of you might even be thinking about maybe taking a webinar or a seminar, or anything that could make you fine tune your skill set even more. I could see a lot of you doing this, and projects seem to just come together at this time. So if you've been in a really weird space with your career, I see things coming together. And even though there's definitely a strong emphasis this month on work and responsibilities, that full moon on the 20th is going to bring a lot of attention, though, to your home and your family. So the need to settle things in your personal life becomes really clear. Like, you're not going to be able to ignore that. So just be sure to recharge, right? Make sure that you give other areas of life, a lot of attention, your friends, other family outside of your home, or any sort of projects that you're working on. So balance out, like if things are really, really challenging in that area of home and family, like where you are, like maybe with a spouse or somebody that you're living with, to balance it out, just to make you be able to deal with things in a better way. Make sure you're paying attention to your work, or you're paying attention to your friends, right? Sort of trying to create that balance for yourself, because you're very pumped up right now, and there's going to be a lot of frustration, and that frustration can end up driving the narrative in a particular area of your life, particularly around this home and family energy, I feel like. And it's really best to not make any big decisions if you're in this space of feeling very emotional or very passionate, where you're feeling sort of blinded by some sort of upsetment. it's just par for the course. You know, as these energies go direct, it's not going to last. It's not, I promise you, it's going to pass. So don't make any big decisions in that energy. And if you can, if you're feeling very heightened, go for a walk, go work out, you know, go connect with some of your friends, go do something else, right? But take yourself out of that energy. That could be really, really challenging for you. All right, so I hope that was helpful as far as the astrology goes. Just to give a little lay of the land. So now I'm going to pull a spread for those of you dealing with some sort of either career or money situation. Now, the money situation can have anything to do with like second house, eighth house axis. So this could be money that you do from the work, money that you make from the work that you do, something to do with career, impending situation, anything like that. This could also have to do with your partner's money, a lawsuit, an insurance payout, right? Inheritance, retirement, even any sort of situation going on with this, with your stocks, with the stock market, anything like that, anything having to do with money, buying a home, selling a home, anything like that. All right, so I'm going to lay these cards out, but I'm going to drop this down so you guys can see the cards, right? Because I know you like to see them. All righty, so let's see what we have for our Capricorn friends. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, we're starting with the Four of Cups, Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups coming into this energy. Yeah, really focusing on trying to manifest something for yourself for sure. Feeling more connected to your heart space. And the Pentacles, you might be dealing with somebody who's a little greedy, Capricorn, right now. Somebody who's a little greedy. All right, so let's see the current situation for you right now. We have the Four of Cups. So you may be in this space where you're feeling kind of restless and disappointed or disillusioned about something. You know, I always call this the checklist card. So you could be feeling like, is this ever going to work out? Am I ever going to feel comfortable in this job? Is this lawsuit ever going to be over? Is this, you know, whatever it is, it's this Moon and Cancer energy. You could be feeling very disillusioned and being like, I don't even know if this whole jam is even worth it, right? And what's challenging this situation is the Two of Cups. So you may be challenged in being able to have this very beneficial conversation that you feel like is very necessary, where there's a mutual understanding had. Some of you might be feeling like, you know, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of argument or some sort of disinterest in something that you're trying to roll out. And that could certainly be challenging because you could easily feel like here you are coming into this energy in the Nine of Cups, ready with bells and whistles on to manifest something that really matters to you. And it seems like you're getting a little bit of pushback here with this Four of Cups and this Two of Cups challenge. So the basis of the situation, we have the Ace of Cups, which is really nice. This is something coming in that's going to be speaking to, is a very key emotional event in your life. It's going to be speaking to something that's going to move it's going to move you emotionally. So this could have to do with, this could be a new job. This could be anything that you've been working on, particularly a creative project, being able to bring it to fruition, you know, once and for all, and really being able to prioritize and being able to focus on something. And really, this is the basis of the situation. And right now, the present situation is the Ace of Swords. So the basis for the Ace of Swords is this Ace of Cups. So I really like these new beginnings here. This is really, really nice, especially if you've been going through a little bit of a tricky energy here. This is very auspicious for new beginnings, for decisions, for clear thinking. Really having anything to do with anything that's going to incite a change in your circumstances for the better. You're going to be really mentally agile right now. And again, this is that energy, Capricorn, of assertiveness. Don't be too zealous. Don't be too aggressive, right? You're going to be able to get over whatever's been getting in the way. Up to this point, you're going to be able to get past it really successfully, even though right now you feel like you are dealing with somebody who's kind of, you know, pushing up against you regarding some sort of financial situation. And it might be because there's a little bit of greed going on here, right? I mean, this King of Pentacles, this is the energy of advice from spirit that you need to look at. Now, this is somebody who's claiming maybe to be generous, maybe to be very hardworking, maybe to be really interested in doing something, but they're funny with their money, or they're funny with how they're willing to show up in a situation. So there might be a lot of talk, not too much walk. There might be, because this is somebody who really doesn't have a lot of patience for anyone who's looking to take what they perceive to be theirs. So especially if you're negotiating any sort of financial thing, right? Any sort of finalization of a lawsuit, or any sort of situation having to do with an inheritance or any kind of payout like that. Now, I kind of think the energy is kind of voting in your favor here, to be honest with you. Even though you look, Jupiter and Saturn, they are coming out of retrograde in that second house for you, but that Jupiter is going to finally be moving forward. It's far enough away from Saturn where I feel like it's going to work in your benefit. And wherever you've been feeling very restricted, I do kind of like that it's sitting opposite this Leo energy in your eighth, without anything really, I feel like Mars is sextiling that energy in a pretty nice way. I feel like whatever's going to be rolling out, it's going to end up going in your favor. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy and clear sailing exactly, but I mean, check this out, right? The external energy from you now, this is not you, this is external, dealing with the devil, right? So somebody is really not very balanced, having to do with some sort of situation. So I feel like for a lot of you, this could be showing up as, somebody who's just imbalanced, somebody who's trying to push some sort of unfair contract on you, or you're needing to deal with some sort of toxic work environment, or some really domineering sort of boss, or some sort of situation that comes in as well where, you're just needing to deal with some sort of imbalanced person. Now, at the same time, some of you may be dealing with an energy who feels like they need to stay in some sort of situation because they feel financially trapped. So it could be some kind of situation, especially if you're dealing with like a business partner or anybody like that, where maybe they feel like, oh, I have to stay in this with Capricorn because, I need the money right now, or I'm just doing this. I'm just going to stay in this just for the money of it. And meanwhile, you're like, okay, I need a little bit more from you than that, right? Depending on what your situation is. But I do, at the very least, I feel like you are dealing with somebody who is very imbalanced, right? Whether it's that, if it's a family situation, right? Like where if it's an inheritance sort of situation, or if there's any sort of like insurance pay, maybe you're dealing with somebody who's nursing some sort of addiction, and that's an issue. For some of you, that could be it. Or there's some sort of narcissistic tendencies, or some sort of anxiety, or some sort of depression, or something getting in their way anyway, of being able to move forward in a smoother way. Now we have the Page of Swords that's showing up as your psychological block. Now the Page of Swords here is some sort of useful information coming in, right? So you may be feeling like you're not getting enough help though from the people around you to push forward what it is that you want. Or you feel like people are not as agreeable as you would really ultimately like them to be, or how you think they should be anyway, right? So, and so some of you, it could be that. Some of you may be dealing with some sort of legal issue. There might be some sort of just legal issue that is psychologically getting in your way. For some of you, it could be taxes, some sort of tax issue, but it could just be some sort of legal issue, especially if you're involved in some sort of lawsuit. You just really don't even want to deal with it. You don't want to be involved in it. And you might be in this space where you feel like you're not getting the support that you deserve in order to roll this out in a way that's going to be, incite a period of success for you, if it has to do with that. But some of you just might be feeling this lack of support, this general lack of support. Now we have in the near future the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, okay, hold on, expect the unexpected. I mean, this is like stuff coming to light, right? This is unpredictable energy, roller coaster stuff, things coming to light, and just everything being thrown out on the table. And you can be like, wow, finally, this person admitted that this is what's going on. And it could be a huge sense of relief. But for some of you, you may not know the first thing of what to do with this new information that comes out. Some of you may even be dealing with a bit of a drama king or queen, where they create a lot of drama. There's a lot of emotional theatrics, and they take very little responsibility for actually, rectifying the situation at the end of the day. They create a lot of drama and they don't bother sticking around to clean it up. But it doesn't really matter how it ends up manifesting for you. It does seem like something very that you don't really see coming in the way that it's going to end up coming. You're going to see, something surprising is going to come in. And the best piece of advice here is, though, wait for the energy to settle. Like, I would wait until Mercury's coming out of retrograde on the 18th, but it's not going to be out of post shadow until the beginning of the month. So if you could wait, great. I mean, if you can't, okay, try to wait at least until the 18th if you sensing this energy coming in before that. But it does seem like, there's going to be this push within you to move away from the toxicity. It's like sadness, but no regrets, stepping away from a situation. You may have psychologically checked out of some sort of situation already anyway, because you're realizing that it's not actually going to bring you where it is that you want to go. You might have thought that it was at one point. At one point, you might have been like, yeah, this is good. This is good. This is going in a good direction. And then all of a sudden, things just took a weird turn. And you're like, nope, this is actually not going to bring me where I want to go. This is a very healthy energy, though, because it illustrates a lot of emotional intelligence, where you're recognizing, okay, I need to detach because what I thought was going to happen at one point isn't, and I'm not going to sit and waste my time in that anymore. Yeah. And then we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about this moving on, again, initially more mentally than anything else, but detaching, allowing some space for the situation to breathe. And you being in a space, Two of Wands, where this is actually a really good energy, because this is about making plans and moving forward. This is you gaining influence, having to do with your particular approach to something. But there are two aspects to the situation, and you need to figure out what is the best strategy for you. What is the best choice to best maximize your skill set, to bring you what it is that's ultimately meant for you. But there are two aspects to a situation. So, because you have two aspects of a situation, something's going to have to be put down, right? Something's going to have to be ended. So there's something ending here. So this could be the restructuring of a business. This could be a complete change in circumstances. This could indicate a person in a position of power needs to make a very tough decision. It might be you. This could also be somebody in charge is pushed to be released from their role or from their responsibility in something. The Four of Pentacles, we have you being very focused on your security. This is the sun in you, sun in Capricorn, you being very protective of yourself. But this is also an energy of self-improvement. And your resources for a firm foundation are going to be very much a focus for you. And in that way, it very much aligns with your astrology for sure. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, good. I mean, this is absolutely as an influence, you increasing prosperity, financial growth, really good investment regarding any kind of business venture or with a partner. This does indicate an increase in your money, or at least connection is coming into you. You might have to work harder than you are right now. And some sort of offer might come in here where you're going to be really into it, but it might not be exactly what it was that you were thinking about. Okay. But it's still really, really good. You're going to have to work hard though, my friend, right? We have the Seven of Pentacles here, where hard work that's going to pay off, right? This is Saturn in Taurus energy. So there's a lot of potential for success here. Whatever your situation is, don't give up on it, right? You're almost there. Your future self is definitely going to thank you for it. Yes, beautiful. And then we have, I love that. We jump from the Seven of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. Very nice, right? I mean, this has to do with maturity and a deepening of shared resources, shared values, improvement in business. This is a maturity in your finances, in your bank account, literally maturing of something, expansion of something. Great energy to go into business. Deepening and understanding within some sort of business situation, but there's going to be you working really, really hard. But it does look like, something is going to be released here. because you're going to have a decision. Should I do this? Should I do that? And you, whatever it is that you are going to put down, you are putting it down because something is meant to not be part of your path. I feel like some sort of drama is happening with somebody around the workplace having to do with this tower moment. But nonetheless, it looks like a positive outcome. So that's good for you. Good for you. Now let's pull some cards for those of you who are in a partnered relationship. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Anything Capricorn needs to know about the relationship that they're in. Excuse me, Ace of Wands, strength energy. A lot of new energy, like newish energy here. Okay, somebody out there is involved in some sort of secret love affair. Just saying. Now, that is just one message I'm getting. When we get the Sun and the High Priestess, there's a situation going on. It's like, yes. I mean, this is very much about like growing a beautiful connection, but kind of you and your partner doing something in secret. But this could, the Sun also rules the fifth house, right? And the fifth house has to do with children, and the High Priestess can indicate you and your partner keeping a secret. So maybe you guys find out that you're expecting a child and you're not telling anybody yet. You're keeping it on the down low, maybe until, you know, you get into maybe a safer space of it. But let's see what's going on here. First of all, we have the Ace of Pentacles is you right now. I'm sorry, the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, this is brand new. So this is a brand new, you're here. That's where you are right now, Capricorn. You're ready, bells and whistles on for a new chapter of passion for those of you who are in relationship. Right, but the challenge here is the strength energy. So, you know, the Ace of Wands, I do want to say it's a new chapter of passion, but it's also about fertility. The Ace of Wands is very much an energy of creating a family and being able to grow. Fertility is all about growth in any form, right? Depending on the age and the stages that you're at. Not everybody's still having kids, right? So it's any way that you can grow your life. But the challenge here is being able to balance something out, right? Because you may feel like you've been in a space where your relationship's been tested. And even though the energy is available here to balance something out and to make things a lot more calm and a lot more manageable moving forward. It does seem like somebody's ego may be gone in the way. Maybe somebody needs their ego stroke. That's going to be for some of you. But for others of you, again, we have the Sun ruling the fifth house, but this is also a Leo energy, is the strength card, and Leo is the landlord of the fifth house. So this could certainly indicate children as well. So if you're very focused on creating a family, there could be this issue with fertility. If the this is also the energy of the house of fun, of the falling in love, of the love affair, of the romance of it all, right? Of doing something for that, just the romance and feeling very connected. So this might be an issue right now in your relationship, being able to move forward in a way that you would really like to in the romantic, having to do with romance here, if it doesn't have to do with children. So in the recent past, we have the Page of Pentacle energy. Page of Pentacle energy, I mean, you guys may have met at work. It could indicate that. But this is the personification of Earth. So this is putting a lot of work into something, knowing that this relationship has a strong potential for success. This can indicate a new cycle within your connection, having to do with how you guys communicate, the intimacy that you guys have. And really starting, like if you've been together a long time, having a really good, this pentacle isn't only money, it's mental, physical, and emotional connection. So starting this new cycle in the recent past where it's like, look, you know, let's work on things in a different way. Let's move, let's move things forward. So some of you may have been in this space where it's like, okay, what can we do to grow our relationship? Maybe let's start a family, let's buy a home, let's do something like that. But you're being challenged here by the inability to balance something out. So there's something that's getting in the way of you being able to grow. Even though the basis of the situation, we do have the sun, and the sun it's a positive energy, but let's be more specific. In numerology, this is the Wheel of Fortune. So this tells me that you've reached some sort of, I'm going to say defining moment, right? Some sort of turning point. And there's this need to take a chance. And the sun provides all the tools in your toolbox that you need to move forward in a successful way. But the sun doesn't do the work for you. The sun just says, look, you have everything that you need to make this relationship work, but there might be secrets at play. Somebody may be getting very wrapped up within. And when I say somebody, I mean, because this is a relationship read. So your energies can be very enmeshed. So what I'm saying about you could be, you could say is really more relevant for your partner and vice versa. But with the high priestess energy here, because this is connected to the moon and the moon rules our emotions, you may be feeling a lot of things emotionally that you're really not discussing with your partner, or they may be doing that with you. Right? This idea of wanting more, of wanting to grow something in a different way, but you may not be disclosing everything that you're feeling. And like I said initially, some of you may be in the space of getting yourself involved in some sort of secret love affair, because these two together do indicate that. But obviously this is a general reading, so I want to give other interpretations. But I do feel like there's something that you're not being totally forthcoming about. Now, the recommendation here is temperance. So this is a very nice energy. I mean, in numerology, this is connected to the Hierophant, which is marriage, which is expectation and conformity. But what does temperance mean? It means coming together and cooperating, reconciling issues that have been problematic, so that you can find this new level of trust, really exercise this new patient cooperation, so that there could be healing after a really difficult time. And it's the kind of thing like, all right, what do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need, right? Always remembering there are three elements in every relationship. There's you, there's them, and then there's the relationship, right? So this tempering is the word of advice. Something needs tempering, but it does seem like you're dealing with an energy that's very overwhelmed. 10 of Wands, overwhelmed, feeling very burdened, feeling like they're in some sort of catch-22 situation, feeling very overwhelmed with responsibilities, or even feeling like life is so busy for you guys right now that the relationship itself is being ignored, and they genuinely don't know how to fix it. So you may be experiencing that. Now, your psychological block that's showing up is happiness, is being able to manifest happiness. This is your block. For some of you, this could indicate a new romance as showing up as your block. There could be some sort of other energy showing up that's your block. For others of you, you're just having a really hard time right now, feeling very connected to your own heart within this relationship. And you're not happy about it. You want to be happy, right? It's Jupiter and Pisces. You want to be happy, but it's your challenge right now. Now, in the near future, we have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is a Sun and Aries energy. It is one of the good fortune cards. This does indicate a wedding or a very important relationship. It is a 3, so there's not a lot of time put in here. So for a lot of you, this can be an energy of a couple of things. First, totally turning your back on whatever's gone on in the relationship up to this point and saying, if we're going to make this work, we need to do things differently than we have now. We need to look at the future in a very unconventional way for us. We need to make changes, and maybe they're unconventional to the rest of the world or even to us, but it's what we need to do. So it might be, living separately or doing something like that would be necessary for you guys to move forward in a healthier way. For others of you, it's really focusing on a fresh path and a new perspective. And the final outcome being the Fool energy is, this is again Uranus. This is about, for a lot of you, this is a new relationship. For others of you, it's realizing if we're going to do this, have this new start together, we must do things differently than before. We have to go with the flow a little better. We have to just do things differently. Just do things differently. But the Fool is Uranus, very shake it up kind of energy. And you do have Uranus retrograde transiting that 5th house right now of romance. Okay. All right. Thank you. No, I have to keep pulling because look at this flippant story you're giving me. For goodness sake, Capricorn, what the heck? So we have the star energy, which is really about, let's go through the story. This is a very beautiful energy. This is the numerology link to the strength card, which is about balancing. In astrology, this is Aquarius, doing things differently. This is a soul connection energy, change for the better after a difficult time. All good stuff, right? But then we have that being clarified with the Lover's energy, which is about choice. So there's got to be, and remember numerology now, this is the Devil card. So there's got to be recognition about where the imbalance is in your relationship. Just fully accepting that your relationship's not perfect. Okay, so what? Guess what? You're normal, because no relationship is perfect, obviously. But this is more about you guys deciding together to work on it. All right, things are challenging. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to do that. And then as a result of that conversation, you feeling like, okay, cool, we can get over these past obstacles. This is like, yeah, us putting our intention into this and it really working out for the better. And there being a lot of happiness and deepening and growth and a deepening of communication, and maybe getting married for those of you in that space, or maybe moving in together, or opening that business, or whatever it is, right? This 10 of Pentacles is a very family-like energy, maturity, deepening of commitment, right? And all that means. Clarifying that, though, we have the Justice energy. So we have to see, how's everybody feeling? Are things equitable? Are things fair? And really checking the temperature there. Because balance and fairness are really, really important to look at right now in this particular situation, whatever's going on. So remember, Venus rules this energy. It's Libra. Venus rules this energy. Venus is very concerned about us having our emotional needs met and things being equitable. And I feel like as soon as that idea of, is this fair, comes up, there's going to be this, let me look at the past cycles that have been going on here. And realizing, look, if we're going to work this out, we need to invest a lot more energy, a lot more work to smooth over whatever issues we are having here that need addressing. And a lot of the issues are going to be really resulting in feeling like, not everything is very equitable here. I'm not feeling like my emotional needs are being met. So it's one thing to shine a light on it, but it's another thing to actually change it. Now, clarifying that Hermit energy is the 9 of Wands, being in a position of strength, feeling defensive, not feeling in the most positive mindset, for sure, because you're tired of the cycles of this, of that, this constant feeling of over and over again, something continuously rearing its head and it being a problem here. And then we have the Death reverse energy. So this tells me that you may be right now unwilling to let the situation go. Now, this could be you being unwilling to let the relationship go, or this is ridiculous to say that would resonate with every Capricorn. There might be something within the relationship that you're just not willing to let go, that you're just not willing to accept. You're just not, and it's like something has reached its expiration date. It can't continue to be a thing in this relationship anymore. It can't. You have to release it. So if there's something going on in the relationship that's really just not aligning with your moral code, or just feeling like the wrong thing for you, this is the kind of thing where you have to recognize that you have to release it. Something needs to be released here. And, even if it's painful, you have to release it. There is seriously, though, a battle of the wills here. I mean, the Five of Wands is truly a like almost competitive kind of argument. This is like an energy of one-upmanship. That's Saturn and Leo energy. And whenever Leo's in the house, there's some sort of ego going on here. So this is like battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions, fighting to be heard. No, it should be this way. No, you did this. No, you did that. And you're not showing up enough. Well, you're not doing this and you're not being understanding. And that's not what, you know what I mean? And that kind of thing that just ends up leading to some sort of necessary surrender, because the way that it's been now up to this point, it's like you're trying to fit a circle in a square. It does seem like. There's got to be some sort of necessary surrender. The truth comes out and the way of relating needs to end here. So either this tower moment is an end of the relationship, or this tower moment is being experienced internally in one of you, where there's this recognition, I can't keep doing this anymore. I have to change. If I want this relationship to work, I need to change. Now, Capricorn, you might not be saying that. This might be your partner. But there's got to be this epiphany where whatever's been going on, it can't continue, because it's just going to keep going the same thing over and over and over again. And you're not going to have it. You're not going to be able to deal with that. So something is definitely going to be rising to the top during this time period. Again, this pretty much aligns with your astrology here. So just be patient, as you work through this time period there, having to do with relationship. Now, let's see what's going on for those of you who may be in separation. I always look for you at airports as if we'll be in the same place in the world. So that's the kind of energy where they see your face in every face, right? You were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. Now I know that it's true. I want you to see the real me now. I've been hiding from our love for too long. Wow. Oh, you know what? If somebody is realizing that, that's awesome. Maybe not that they did it in the first place, but if they're realizing that. I always look for you at airports as if we'll be in the same place in the world. Well, that is like that energy of like you being on the other side of their every breath kind of thing. Let's pull a couple clarifiers. Two of Swords, they're in an emotional stalemate. Wow, about getting married. They're in an emotional stalemate about the idea of marriage, some sort of family situation. And they know that the situation isn't going away. They have to stand their ground. They have to say their piece. I almost feel like there's something left lingering in the air between the two of you, even though you're not in communication right now, Capricorn. It does seem like this. They want to protect themselves on the one hand, but they want their needs met at the same time. It's very interesting. With the love of my life, I didn't figure that out before. Now I know that it's true. All right, we have the Nine of Swords, and that's being clarified by the Six of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is really an energy of anxiety and overwhelmed, depression, not responding well to the external stress of everything, and feeling the need to pull away from the toxicity of a situation. Now, this could be you, again, this could be them, how it goes in the relationship, but pulling away from the toxicity. I want you to see the real me now. I've been hiding from our love for too long. First card up is the Strength card. Yeah, so there's love here. There's friendship. There's this desire to have all of that. There's this desire for balance. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Four of the World, Three of the Trinity. This is a Saturn and Taurus energy. Really wanting to put the hard work into trying to balance something out. Does seem like somebody wants to do that. Somebody wants to do that, but yet they're conflicted. It's almost like they want to be with you, but they don't want to deal with any of the yucky stuff. They don't want to deal with anything that in any way, shape, or form can be like show up as being uncomfortable in their energy. They don't want to have any of the uncomfortable conversations. They just want to be happy. and they're doing something by the book. So I feel like they feel like they're doing something very by the book, something the way, like they're behaving the way that they feel like they need to behave. I do feel like a bit of a stubborn energy here you may be dealing with. Okay, these are going to be for you, Capricorn. I'm going to pull 3 oracles for you. Do something different. Be open to love. And reflect on your truth. Wow. Okay. All right. Do something different. Be open to love. And reflect on your truth. So only you're going to really know. I mean, what is your truth? Only you know that, right? Do something different. Don't keep getting back on that unhealthy, wheel, round and round, right? That mouse wheel of together, not together, trying to rectify things, and then it falls apart again and all of that. Do something different this time and make sure that it's entrenched in your truth and that it includes being open to a real available love, somebody who's very available and in that same space as you. So that is what I have for my Capricorn friends for this month. Well, not for the month, from the 8th to the 22nd. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.